Thank you for waking up with Happiness, where we come together to grow in mind, body, and spirit so we can in turn go out and make the world a brighter and sweeter place to live. Today's podcast is brought to you by Buffalo Rock Pepsi and Amore Boutique, Can't Hide Pretty, and Jute Palm. And I'll talk to you more about those precious people on the podcast. But our newest sponsor is Buffalo Rock Pepsi, and they're joining me now because they believe in what I'm doing in the community, and I believe in their core values, and I'm so excited about it. And I do kind of like Mountain Dew, but I do drink Diet Mountain Dew. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, all the time I say, don't look back, that's not where you're going. Don't look in the rearview mirror, that's not where you're going. But you know what? I realize there's some times where looking back helps you look forward and be so grateful. So I'm going to talk to you a few things that happened to me. I've been doing a lot of talks lately out in the community, and I'm so thrilled to do them. And I got a news for you. I'm getting less and less afraid the more I do it. I just let go and let God. I spoke at a, what was it? It was the Impact 100, which please give to Impact 100. I'm going to do some more little videos about that. They're trying to reach their goal. It's such a wonderful organization. So I went and spoke there, and I had it all planned out. I'll be honest, I didn't plan it out till the day before, but had it planned out. It was all darling. I had the format of what I was going to talk about. It was the importance of nonprofits. Lori asked me to do that, and I got up there, I blanked out. I told my story. I told a little bit of my story, and I spoke from my heart. But as I was sitting down, I thought, oh my gosh, that was terrible. And my sweet friend Jody looked at me. She said, no, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. You said exactly what you were supposed to say. And people told me I did. So it's so weird how you sometimes will judge yourself. And I'm realizing that how to do it best is just to let God work through me, live through me, love through me, so that I'm of value to the people in the room. Not that I look good, but I say something of value that might help them. And most of those things of value I have learned by screwing up, messing up, doing things wrong, just living life and learning and all that stuff. So I want to tell you a few things that I remember that I haven't really talked about in my talks, but I want to talk to you about, and that are kind of embarrassing to me. So when I was broke as a joke, and I was working at a Lou's seafood restaurant, and I worked there, and I remember being in there, and keep in mind that when I was working there, most of my friends were already successful. They were like doctors, lawyers. They had married people that were very successful. Well, I did not, I didn't have any money. We were just broke as a joke. And I was at the age where maybe I felt like I shouldn't be doing something like that, right? So my friends would come in with their nice cars, their nice jobs, and all that stuff. And I was so embarrassed, y'all. I was so embarrassed to wait on them. I was so embarrassed. And I remember, so I look back on that time and I go, oh my gosh, I made it through that time. I'm here now. And so I'm thankful. I'm so grateful. And I also remember this that I thought of the other day is, oh my gosh, I remember at one point when, again, we didn't have any money, and I had to get another job, and I was working at Pizza Hut. And at Pizza Hut, you had to wear these awful uniforms. Even though I didn't have money, I liked to look cute. And used to go to Goodwill to look cute and hand-me-downs, but I tried to look cute. And I was so embarrassed when people would come in there and see me working at Pizza Hut. And I remember I was ironing, I don't know why I remember this, but I was ironing my, maybe at my apron, I'm not really sure, but I remember ironing something, and a friend of mine from Enterprise called me. I'm not going to say her name because she heard me tell this story one time and she felt so bad about it. So a friend of mine calls me up, I'm ironing my little uniform, and she says, hey, we're going snow skiing. We're going snow skiing in February. So all you got to do is put aside like $100, $200 a week. And I was thinking to myself, if I don't come up with the money today, our power is going to be shut off. And the power company is all the way across town. And if I have to go get it turned on, I'm going to have to trust that my $500 car, that's a permanent convertible, is going to get me across that bridge. I remember that so vividly. And I remember thinking, God, I don't want to live this way. Please help me. Please help me. Please help me. Show me a way out of this. And I just kept saying to myself, I believe you, Lord. I believe that you've got a plan for me. I believe that you've got something more for me than ironing my Pizza Hut uniform when my friends are saving up money to go on a ski trip. I was so embarrassed. So embarrassed. I was embarrassed when I would drive up in that car and it would make awful noises. I was embarrassed that the top stayed permanently down. I was so embarrassed, but I kept promising God. I said, God, if you or when you make me successful, I promise to be a giver. I promise to be a giver. I remember when Starter husband left. It was November the 6th, 4:20 in the afternoon. Who's counting? I was devastated. I was absolutely devastated. And I remember thinking, it's Christmas time. It's Christmas time. It's going to be Christmas time. What am I going to do? And my precious pastor of my church, Ronnie Ball and his wife, a darling, other people just came to our rescue, dropped groceries off at our house. Money appeared in my mailbox just from nowhere. But it wasn't from nowhere. It was from God. You know, this is the thing. God will and can love you through other people. And he does it all the time. He does it all the time. So right now, for this season, this Christmas season, this giving, loving season, I'm looking back on where my life was before. And I can hardly even believe it. I get choked up when I walk in this building. When I think that I could not even supply our basic needs without working 3 jobs. And I walk in this beautiful building that I had built for my company, that I'm able to use for events, that I'm able to use to love on and nurture and love people. I can hardly believe it, but I can believe it because God has shown me time and time and time again, if I am open, if I have my hands wide open, he will fill them. But this is the thing. With our hands wide open, we also give of not only our abundance, but we give of all that's been given to us. And the joy is that we can do it for the rest of our lives. So I'm looking back on where I was. I'm looking back on where I was in my life. And if it had not been for the generosity, for the kindness, for the graciousness of people, I would not be here today. And I want to tell you another little story, and I think I've told you this story before, but this really helped me. And I still do this today. So I was went back to school, went to Gulf Coast and to FSU, and because I just was so sick of being just that poverty, living in poverty. I didn't want it, you know. So I went back to school, got a scholarship from Tommy Thomas Chevrolet, and I remember being in school, and Brenda Butchkus was actually taking some classes at the same time, and we were studying together. And I was lamenting about the fact that all my clothes came from either Goodwill or hand-me-downs, y'all. And I was wearing shoulder pads when shoulder pads were no longer cool because that's what my hand-me-downs were. And I always wore things that didn't really fit me quite, because let's face it, when you're a 4'9" little elf, other people's clothes do not fit you unless you're getting children's clothes. I mean, that's just the way it is. So I remember saying to her, I said, you know, I'm tired of Goodwill being the only place I can afford to buy clothes. And she said, don't say that. She said, don't say I can't afford it. Say it's not in my budget. She said, people of wealth or people of abundance don't say they can't afford things. Don't ever say that. Say it's not in my budget. And I went, I love that reframe. That is a great reframe. So that's one of the things that by looking back, I'm thinking of all the things that I've learned in my short little 66-year-old life, you know, and I've learned so many things. And I love that looking back allows me to be more grateful, to be more joyful, to be more hopeful. And what it also does for you is this. So many times we're going through something and it's tough. For me, it's in the area of addiction in my family. Breaks my heart. There's some days, y'all, when I just hit my knees and oh, God, help me. Help me live in peace in this day, even when my family is not in peace. Help me not lose my life because others are choosing to lose their life. Help me, please, Lord. And he's done that for me. But what has helped me is when I get in a place that's really tough, and I think, God, I don't know if I'm going to make it or not, I can look back and see in that rearview mirror that I did make it, and you did make it, and we will make it because we have gumption, we have energy, we have power, we have strength, and we have might. And what we cannot do, what we cannot, shall not, should not ever do is give in to people's whining, complaining, and belly aching, and talking about how bad the world is. The world is only as good as you decide it is in your heart, your soul, your mind, your body. And keep in mind that all those algorithms out there, they are trained to find the worst, not the best, in people. And I don't know about you, but I'm going to use my rearview mirror, my backwards looking life, to move forward and make this life brighter and sweeter and more hopeful for others. And I know that you want to do that too. So if any of this meant anything to you, please share it with others, because the very thing in your heart, your soul, your spirit that you have dealt with, that you've struggled with, that is the thing that God can use for his glory, for the abundance of the world. Is your story can help other people have a better story. I promise you. Y'all, I want to thank so much all the people that have made my happy ass life come to work. It's wonderful. I am so grateful that the Pepsi people believe in me. They like what I'm doing. They like what I'm putting out in the community. They want to be community-minded people. I am so grateful that Can't Hide Pretty and Amore and Hue Salon that makes my hair all cute, and Minutes and Miles and Lucky's Pine Straw and my darling people at Holiday Beach Rental, and I've got that precious national sponsor, American Home Shield Warranty, y'all, and Bay Tax. These people believe in me and what I'm doing. That is more valuable than the check they write. I'm telling you, it is. And so what I'm asking you to do, what do you have in your heart right now? What do you have in your soul, your heart, and your spirit? What have you learned from? What can you look back on your life and see in your rearview mirror that you've learned from, you've grown from? Don't keep it to yourself. Don't keep your hero's journey to yourself. Go out there and be a guide for others, you know? So if you're seeing this live, then you know that Thursday is my art pop-up here at Beachy Beach Top Secret Headquarters. If you hearing this at Spotify, Apple Music, and all that stuff, it's already happened. But you can still give to Backpack Blessings. They are the beneficiary. Can you imagine? Y'all think about it. The girl who used to walk beside the road with her children because her car was broken down. The girl who had to get gifts from people for her family for Christmas can now be the giver. And that's what happens in our lives. When we help others who need help, we make way for them to be the givers one day too. So if you're one of those people out there that have loved me, that have believed in me, and that have given me hope through every season of my life, I love you with all my heart. And God bless you with all my heart. You know what I'm going to say? Be sweet, y'all. Bye.